Disclaimer, this video is only for educational purposes only. I hope this video doesn't give a wrong idea about myself. I'm just a YouTube messenger. Yo, what is up everyone? It is Emanuel and today is going to be a discussion video. But this time it's my face cam. I got a new face cam if you can tell. It's higher quality. I also flipped my desk around, which you can see this and this is in the background. Mainly because the background on the other side is messy and I just don't want to be too much clunk in my footage and stuff. But hey, I hope this works. We're going to start the video off with who? Dan James Schneider, or also known as Dan Schneider, who is a TV show producer, screenwriter, and actor apparently. And he is best well known for making some of the greatest shows in Nickelodeon to ever exist, including Victorious, iCarly, Sam and Cat, Henry Danger, etc. Oh, and Drake and Josh, I forgot. Although he's known for making these greatest shows, he's also known for having a weird fetish. A foot fetish. Which is weird, especially when you're surrounded with a lot of children at all times and when you're working. In the TV space where it's just a bunch of children in Nickelodeon, he also likes to put innuendos in his shows, which has nothing but children in it who are working and trying to get their pay. And the children used to witness this stuff are now adults and they now know what some of the jokes mean. And for you, Dan, you should go to jail or prison for doing all these crazy stuff, especially for children that are trying to be somewhere in the TV space. No, it's a huge no-no. Don't do that ever again. And now what is Dan Schneider accused of? Well, Dan Schneider's a weirdo, as explained, but he's also a weirdo for getting weird people to coach these children when it comes to dialogue and stuff like that, which is kind of weird because it's children. Duh. Now, some of this info is from a show called Quiet on Set, which is a show surrounding about the children that worked in these TV spaces that were living in nightmares, I would say. And the show is available to stream on HBO or HBO Max, whatever you want to call it, whatever. Anyways, Dan Schneider hired two people that were weird in the TV space. And I'm not saying they're weird, they're actual, like, sorry for my language, fucking weirdos. Because they're both legit. I can't say the actual word. I don't want to get demonetized. Now, one of these people that Dan Schneider hired was a person by the name Brian Peck, or apparently his nickname was Pickle Man, which is weird. Brian Peck is not related to Josh Peck at all. Like, he's not related to him at all, like a single bit. But they just happen to have the same last name. Don't get it twisted. Brian Peck was a dialogue coach for Drake Bell, and Brian Peck was weird to Drake for who knows how long, and nobody knew about it because Drake's identity was hidden because he was a minor, and minors can't have their identity shown, especially when they're children. Minors equals children. If you didn't know that, you're stupid. Within the docu-series, Drake would bring up how Brian Peck would stalk him, would chase him. And I'm not talking about like the little stalk that your ex would do. No, I'm saying driving miles away just to see this kid perform, try to get close to him as much as he can be, and never let him go so far. And that's not it. Brian Peck would have a weird relationship with the serial killer clown John Wayne Gacy, because apparently they knew each other somehow, but Brian Peck would have letters from John Wayne Gacy next to his bedstand. And he worked for Nickelodeon. No, he worked for Nickelodeon. Like, what, bro? Like, I could actually shit on this man because you don't do that when you're working with a TV space full of children. This man, Brian Peck, would even request for him to play Drake's father in the friggin' show of Drake and Josh. That's how weird he was. Brian got Drake's father fired from his dialogue coaching so he can fill that role, so he can get closer to Drake. Oh my gosh, bro. Drake's biological father would even admit that Brian was a weirdo and a creep and all this, and he still worked in Nickelodeon within the time. Brian being close to Drake Bell, he would commit a lot of and he would get arrested in 2003 for the Anyways, after serving 6 months for the charges, he got released and immediately started working for Disney in Zack and Cody. Like, there was no background checks apparently, because how does a work for a big TV series, another big TV series that is surrounded around children too? What's, bro? Like, that's crazy. No, that's actually crazy, bro. Now, another person that would work for Dan Schneider is another person by the name Jason Handy. And his name kind of implies what he likes to do. He was the type of person that send a girl, or, now should I say big girl, a little minor who was an extra, a picture of some weird stuff. Now, I won't get into detail because I don't like getting into detail, but he was the type of person to send weird stuff to an extra called Brandy, which in Quiet on Set, her mother was there to explain what happened and how Jason Handy would be apparently nice and just suddenly send a picture of his weird thingamajig. Like, bro, you can't get bitches, but you have to prey on little kids, bro. Like, what? And finally, how did this stuff impact the children, and if it was long-term or permanent? Well, Jason Handy was arrested and is currently serving at a correctional center for his offenses. Now, Brian Peck is a free man, but he's listed in the nya list. According to Drake Bell, he was impacted fully when he was a kid. When he was a youngin', he got impacted because of Brian Peck's doings, but many years passed, so he covered through therapy and through sessions, because at that time many children could not speak out of what was going on because they're children and they can't really talk as much as adults can and talk out, speak out, stuff like this. Their identity would be hidden, all this and that. Now, the minor that had to deal with Jason Handy, well, her mother explained in the Quiet on Set. Apparently she's doing fine, she's 100% now, but at the time she was probably feeling something. And other than those that had to deal with this stuff, many other people had to deal with Dan Schneider's decisions, which was wow. Now, I haven't looked up if Dan Schneider left Nickelodeon already. He probably did, but hey, I hope everyone's doing the best. For the people that had to deal with his decisions, I hope the best for all of you guys. If you're even looking at this video, I just wanted y'all to know that I hope for the best for all of you guys to feel greatest at life, no matter the circumstances. Anyways, that's all I have to say for this video, and if you liked it, like it. If you thought this was a good video, you should subscribe. Anyways, I'm gonna post more stuff on my second channel and this channel. I hope you guys feel better with this new face cam, and I'll see you guys next time I upload. Peace out.
Oh, I've been married a long time ago. What you to come from? What you to go? What you to come from? Bacalado.